Hi, it's Sarah, also known as SoCraftastic here on YouTube, and today, on behalf of Rainbow Loom, I'm going to be showing you a brand new kit, another one, the Rainbow Loom 360 Freestyle. For those of you who love making figures and charms especially, you're gonna want to get your hands on this kit. It is probably the most innovative one yet, in my opinion. The most obvious thing you can see right away is it comes in this handy carrying case, so you can keep all the components organized in here. You may have also noticed it says premium bands. That's right, these rubber bands are stronger than the original Rainbow Loom bands. So these bands are really durable. I will show you later in the video a little bit of a comparison. Speaking of bands, there are 2,500 of them, 100 plus accessories, and a project guide / instruction manual that is fully in color and has pictures. There are a total of 2,768 pieces inside. That includes one 360 loom, 90 pegs for the loom. These are removable, interchangeable. You can put them wherever you want, customize the layout, the setup, any way you want to. So making figures and charms has just become so much easier. We have a traditional hook here. The end of it makes it really easy to add cap bands. This one is brand new to me. I'm gonna have to figure out what this is. Then there are these little hook things, which again, I have to figure out what they are. 2,500 bands in these 9 different colors, 10 pairs of shoes, 4 stands for your figures, 10 bag clips that are really colorful, 20 pairs of eyes, 10 animal mouths, 60 of these back clips, 1 accessory frame, all inside this one organizer case. It's so colorful. I can tip this case upside down all around, hold it any which way, and this stuff is not falling out. However, it's really easy to open. These snaps they're snap. My first impression of one of the premium bands, I'm gonna stretch it as far as I can. It definitely is more thick. I mean, I don't wanna break it because that would hurt, but it's not going anywhere. When you stretch it out that far, it does get a little bit bigger. So let me test another rubber band. Here's a turquoise band from one of the treasure box kits, and I can already tell that this one is a little bit thinner. It's still very durable and sturdy and everything, but it stretches more easily than this one. You have to use a little bit more force. So I'm a little bit scared to do this. I'm gonna try to stretch it out as much as I did. Okay, it does. They both stretch really far. These accessories are so cute. There are donut glasses, heart eyes, a bat, a cat, a bunny, an owl with antlers. There's some wings, bows. Oh, I really like the ice cream cone. These are so cute. I didn't even realize we can make an astronaut. Halos, hearts, stars, horns, and more. Here's the loom. And then there are 3 compartments full of the pegs. So let's see how easy they are to snap in here. What? Very, very easy. So I have one with the opening facing you right now. I'm going to do one with the opening facing me. Then I'm going to do one with the opening facing the right, well, my right, and then one with the opening facing my left. So you would think 4 different ways would be enough, but no. Rainbow Loom has taken it a step further. So here's 2 diagonals, one going that way, one going that way. We can also do diagonals the opposite directions. So there are 8 different directions you can place these pegs, in addition to all the different slots for the pegs. It kind of looks like a smiley face. Hold on, let's make it a smiley face. Smile. Even more happiness is on the way now because I just set up the loom to make a custom figure. To do this, I followed the example in the instruction guide for a person and placed the pegs accordingly. The instructions also mention when to use single bands versus double bands around the pegs. You can see I placed a single brown band first, followed by double brown bands next to that one. And then I continued placing bands either 1 or 2 at a time to form the hair and face of my person in progress. The shoulders and upper torso come after the neck, of course, and I'm extending off each shoulder 1 at a time to create the arms and hands. After that, I finished the torso and constructed the person's waist. Finally, I moved on to the legs and feet. At this point, it's time to form and place cap bands around various points of the figure. To do this, I wrap a band around the top part of the hook 3 times and slide that wrapped band onto a peg. I did this step for both feet and both hands. Now to let you in on a little secret. I kind of almost completely messed up this person because I somehow forgot to create its chin. I don't know how that happened, but after this minor band moving / adding procedure, all is well again. Only a few more bands to place, a couple here on the face, and a couple triangles on the torso as well. Now it's time to loom. The tug tool here really comes in handy for holding the cap band on the peg while pulling out the bottom band with the metal hook. That way nothing slips off that shouldn't. You can also use the tug tool as extra security if you want to for looming the other bands as well. But as you can see, I loomed the majority of them without it just fine. The most challenging part of this entire design is the waistline peg here, because so many different bands are looped on it and they need to be loomed in a certain order. Now take this part slow and fully utilize the tug tool if you need it. See, it wasn't that difficult. Continue looming in the order the instructions say to, which you can see was torso, arm, other arm, shoulders, and neck. And of course, finishing off with every single band that makes up the head. Secure the piece together by forming a slip knot with that remaining single band. I'm transferring the knotted band onto the tug tool so I can use the hook to help me carefully remove the person from the pegs. Again, be extra gentle in areas that may have a bit more tension than others. Then voila, this figure is ready to get dressed. Let's start off with the shoes. I'm kind of threading the long pole through the back of each leg one at a time. It's really easy. Here's the first one done. And my very curious cat, Phoenix, wanted to investigate after the person could stand. Of course, she couldn't see him though. Adding a couple eyeballs into the face bands will solve that problem. No Rainbow Loom creation wants to be eaten by a giant furry creature, you know? Oh, and I'm adding a couple cute accessories I popped out of the accessory frame too. So she has a lollipop and a bow. I placed her on this cute heart stand so you could ironically see her sit down. And here, a couple of friends showed up to join in on some sort of adventure. I don't know what they were up to, but whatever it was, they got tired out. I am going to show you an overview of how I made this butterfly charm too, but first let's take a look at some other creations. I like that they can actually stand up with their feet. Then we have this rock star merman. He doesn't have feet, he has a tail. I am going to swap his sunglasses for this astronaut helmet and he's gonna go to space. Ready? Blast off. I don't know the last time I've played pretend with little figures, but these guys have got my imagination going. Of course, in addition to human figures, you can also make food, such as pizza, strawberries, this little chickie, and a fox. And this fox is going to have a video game controller. The fox actually took over the merman's sunglasses now. What a cool fox. The tug tool actually doubles as a peg puller or remover. So here I'm taking out every single peg in order to reconfigure the loom from a person setup to a butterfly design. Ooh, this is gonna be so pretty. I used 5 different colors of bands for the wings, as you can see here. Now I'm moving on to looming with the hook. I started with all the cap bands, then went around the wings. Finishing off, I'm making a slip knot so that lime green band can hold the charm together while I remove the entire thing from the loom carefully, like so. For this one, I chose to add a bag clip to one of the top wings. This way I can display my beautiful butterfly charm on any keychain or even a purse that I want to. Which figure or charm from this video is your favorite? Let us know in the comment section below. If you would like to try out the Rainbow Loom 360 for yourself, and make a bunch of awesome figures and charms. There's a link in the description box on where you can purchase one. Rainbow Loom and I thank you so much for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the video. Bye! Shoot. I hope I didn't just break everything. Okay.